Hi, it's Vex, and today we're going to go over our top 10 from Crimson VOW. I know this video is a little late because it took me forever to get these cards. That's right. But I have them all. I've tried them all. They're really cool. So, let's go right into it. Top 10, honorable mention. And remember, oh man, I love this set because it has Umbris, which is not in the top 10. It's actually not technically in Crimson VOW set. It's in Crimson VOW Commander set. But you can only get it via the collector booster or set booster. But anyways, Umbris. I played Lantern and Lost, and Umbris is my honorable mention right here. Maybe number 11 of the top 10. Lantern and Lost, more graveyard hate, is awesome. So with that out of the way, let's go through our top 10 here. Mirror Hall Mimic. You know, back in the day, it was 3 in a blue, clone a creature. Now it's 3 in a blue, clone a creature, do extras. Mirror Hall Mimic, 3 in a blue. It's a spirit, very important here. It's a spirit spell. You may have Mirror Hall Mimic enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it's a spirit in addition to its owner's type, which is very important because there's a spirit commander, which I'll do a deck tech on soon. And then, that's why I have these clear ones, so you just flip right over. It's a modal double face card with Disturb. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transform for its Disturb cost. So it's like a clone once, you kill it, and then you can disturb it, and then what you can do is enchant creature at the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except it's a spirit in addition to this other type, so you get to enchant a creature, and then, copy it. And then it goes to the Mimicry? I think that's how you say it. Well, we put it into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So essentially, you clone in the front, you attach it to somebody else, and you clone it on every upkeep, which is super good. I told you 4-mana clones are amazing. Could get a dice here, number 10, right there. Now, the reason I give it number 10 is because there's so many utility clones. Spark Double, Sakashima of Thousand Faces are my go-to clones because they can clone legendaries, especially your commander. So that's what it's a very good clone. So it does deserve to be in some clone decks. It's number 10 on our list. Let's move to number 9. Manaform Hellkite. That's right, 2 red. It's a dragon. It's a 4/4, so 4/4 dragon for 4 mana. Very good rate, flying. Then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an X red dragon illusion creature token with flying and haste, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Exile that token at the beginning of next end step. So this is really cool. The reason I like it a lot is it doesn't just go in a dragon deck. It goes in kind of like a dragon spell slinger. It kind of puts you in a different direction. So it's really cool that it just takes you in a different direction than big fat dragon beater deck. I like it that you put in decks I love spell slinger decks, and this just you have it on the battlefield. You kind of threaten like big dragons coming out of nowhere, attacking out of nowhere. You play your big spell, even a Factor Fiction, you get a 4/4 dragon, you get to attack right away. It's really cool. I really like the card. Okay, number 8, right here, Aver Caretaker. So it's got the keyword that people hate, I guess. Here is 4 green, human werewolf. Of course, it's a werewolf. It transforms. Hexproof. That's the keyword that people love to hate. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2+1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. It grows creatures, which is exactly what we want to do. It's got Daybound. And then if it flips, oh man, let's see the flipping side here. Hollowhenge Huntmaster. Hexproof again, very hard to kill. But that's why I said I always say you include board wipes in your decks because, for this reason, hexproof things. Other permanents you control have hexproof. So everything has hexproof. This thing and the thing that grants hexproof. At the beginning of your combat in your turn, put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control, including the Hollowhenge Huntmaster. Now, the saving grace is that this thing can flip. You can turn it back to day, and then only this has hexproof. So it's not as degenerate as you would think it is, but it is very powerful. I'm thinking about adding this to my Zuza deck, but the only reason I don't want to add to the deck is because I don't want to track day-night just for one card. If this card dies or gets exiled, I still have to track day-night for the rest of the game, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I really hate that mechanic, by the way. I wish you just stopped tracking if nothing cares about it. All right. Number 7 card. Cultivator Colossus. Yes, Cultivator Colossus goes infinite with abundance. No, I'm not going to play in my deck because it's not worth, the abundance itself is not worth it to me. I mean, it's a really good card, but I'd rather play other cards. Let's read it. 4 green, plant beast, trample, Cultivator Colossus' power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control, so it grows. I might include this in my Azusa deck. I'm not going to include Abundance, but I might include it in my Azusa because it's a Lands Matter card. When Cultivator Colossus enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card, repeat this process. No, you cannot go infinite with bounce lands because bounce lands have a trigger. This thing is the resolution of this effect all at one time. So essentially, you ETB, then you can put, a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, draw a card, see if that's a land, put it onto the battlefield, draw a card, see if it's a land, put it onto the battlefield. Then you keep putting as many lands as you can until you can't do it anymore, or until you want to stop. So it's don't get me wrong, it's very, very strong. It is 7 mana, and it's one of those scaling effects that do have trample on it. So I think it's a very powerful card. I don't think it's in the top 5. And as time goes on, they're going to make very, very powerful green cards that are just supplant this card that are even cheaper. So we'll see. And tell you the truth, at 7 mana, I'd rather play Nyx Bloom Ancient over Cultivator Colossus. All right, moving on to number 6, Dig Up. I love utility cards that just do so many things that are kind of modal. It's a green. Sorcery has Cleave, 1 black, black, green, which you may cast a spell for its cleave cost if you do remove the words in square brackets, which is kind of weird and very hard to read, but let's read this anyways. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. So essentially, for green, you get to search the library for a basic land card and then put it in your hand, which is very flexible. I love 1 mana spells that get you lands that increase your virtual land count, like Dig Up and Abundant Harvest. Except for 1 black, black, green, you get the Demonic Tutor or Diabolic Tutor. I would put this in my deck because I want the flexibility of, increasing my virtual land count, but that land also is like a mono double face spell, which you could use as Demonic Tutor. So that is why it's number 6. Number 5 on the list. I love this. Change of Fortune. Has that magical word fortune in it, like Wheel of Fortune or Wheel of Misfortune. 3 in red. Discard your hand and draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. Okay, so this is sounds like a single-sided Wheel of Fortune. But you gotta read carefully. Discard your hand and draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. Now, if you discarded, let's say Wheel of Fortune before you play Change of Fortune, you discard, 3 cards. Change of Fortune, you discard the 3 cards you wheel, or 7 cards you wheeled for. You would draw, you draw 10 cards. So it's anything you've discarded prior to resolving Change of Fortune. That's why it's super powerful. I think in a discard commander like Real and stuff like that, this is very, very good. Right there. Change of Fortune, number 5. I think this could be broken in many ways. Not yet, but eventually. Maybe it will be broken in Real deck, who knows, but it's very, very strong. Number 4. Okay, we're getting to the good stuff. Wash Away. I love this card. 1 blue, so it has a cleave cost of 1 blue blue. Counter target spell that wasn't cast from its owner's hand for 1 blue. Now what that means, it basically says 1 blue counter target commander. And other cards too, Foretold cards, or if you Snapcaster a card, then you could counter for 1 blue. And then worst case, it's 1 blue blue. It's just a cancel. But the cool part is, in Commander, there's always a card to counter for 1 blue, which is the opponent's commander. Imagine this. Okay, just imagine if I'm player 1 and I'm playing against a Reese player, which is a 1 mana value commander. I play my island, they play the Reese. I'm like, nope, wash away. Oh, you know how angry they'd be to get countered on the first turn? Because usually if you're the Reese, the redeem player, you would always play on turn 1 and it always resolves. But that'd be super cool to happen. Anyways, moving on. I got to put in all my blue decks until that happens. But that'd be cool, really cool. Moving on, number 3, and people might not want to play against this card after a while, but this is a very, very strong commander, very strong card in 99. Toxtrol the Corrosive, 5 black black. It's a legendary creature, Slug Horror. At the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control, including your own end step. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. Wowzers, 1 turn around the table, -4/-4. Then whenever creature you don't control with a slime counter it dies, create a 1/1 black slug creature token. Wow. Not only do you get to kill your opponent's stuff, you get to make stuff for yourself. And you know what? This has a 4th set of text here. Blue, black, sacrifice a slug, draw a card. Okay, they didn't need to add this text. They didn't need to add this text. They just had to add these 2 sections of text. That was good enough. But this commander is insane. And on top of that, the commander is a 7/7. 7 powered commanders that kill people in 3 hits are also insane. This is a board 1-sided Plague Wind commander. Costs cheaper in Plague Wind. It's a little slower in Plague Wind. But if you see this on the other side of the field, better beware that your the deck you're playing against is a little toxic. I mean, it's a mean card. Not as mean as 9/9, but very mean as a commander. Of course, it's not Turgid level mean, but it's mean. Have that rule 0 conversation when playing against this card is super powerful. And the card number 2 is actually a set of cards. Just like in my Midnight Hunt top 10, I have the slow lands, the 5 slow lands. I think these are better, functionally better, not strictly better, functionally better than Buddy lands. They come into play tap turn 1, turn 2, where it doesn't really matter. Buddy land always comes into play tap turn 1 as well. Buddy lands can possibly come into play tap turn 2, possibly turn 3, but here it's guaranteed 3 or above, right here. So these are insane. I think these are one of the commander staple lands. I like how they have lands that are staple and commander, but like don't affect modern, legacy, pioneer. Like these lands aren't that great in there, but amazing in commander. So kudos to Wizards for making a good design that just doesn't break older formats. Number 1 card here, if you look everywhere here, you have your blue, your black, green, lots of green cards, red cards. This is a semi-black card, but you don't have a white card. And then number 1 card is a white card, Welcoming Vampire. On the back, I have the cool vampire frame. Welcoming Vampire, 2 in white. Creature vampire, so it goes in a vampire deck. But it doesn't just have to go in a vampire deck. Let's just read this. Whenever 1 or more other creatures with power 2 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Okay? This ability triggers only once each turn. They're doing that to white ability triggering once each turn, but it's just creature ETBs. A token ETB, let's say you have the Flipped Legion's Landing that makes a token on a land. You could play it on another player's turn, make a token, draw a card. It's just power 2 or less ETB, not cast. Like I thought they would just do, whenever you cast a creature spell with power 2 or less, you draw a card, but little creatures. So there's lots of ways in white for instant creature generation. And it doesn't have the tax of pay 2, draw a card. It's just draw a card. I think this is a very impactful card in white, and I'm starting to believe that this is going to be the most important white card that came out this year. I know there's Vanquish the Horde, which is I put on the top of my Midnight Hunt. White cards are getting to be number 1. They've done a very good job doing white. But I think Welcoming Vampire is insane. All right, so these are my top 10 cards of Crimson Vow. If you think I'm wrong or I'm right, leave your answers in the comments below. Tell me, do you agree or do you disagree with my top 10? Do you have your own top 10? If you do, again, leave them in the comments below. But I think you all will like this video, so don't forget to give it a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos. And as always, have a wonderful day.